In his book, Useful Not True, Derek Sivers talks about a time he got involved in a car crash. And he got told the other woman had broken her spine and that she'd never walk again. And this obviously racked up a lot of guilt. And so much so that 18 years later, he went to the other person's house, found it in the directory, and went over there to apologise. And she opens the door, all the regret and guilt comes flowing out, he's crying, sobbing, and then she invites him inside and walks to the living room. Turns out she didn't break her spine, she only injured a few vertebrae, but she was walking fine. And it also turns out that she blamed herself for the same incident, which to me just suggests that it's so easy for small misunderstandings to balloon into something so big. Another example, in 1992, two researchers published a study. It was quite an interesting study. So after the Challenger disaster, the NASA one, in 1986, these researchers took the opportunity to give their students a form asking them what happened, where they were, what they were doing, and they filed that away for 3 years. And then they asked them the same questions, but 3 years later, and asked them how confident they were in their prediction. And it turns out that not only were most of the things said in 1990 about the things in 1986 were wrong, but they were also more confident that their prediction was right. Which I guess just points to the distortions that memory can have, and how the past, of what we view as the past, is just one point of view and not necessarily what actually happens. And the third thing about misunderstandings ballooning is texting, because this is like a misunderstanding machine. Every text always gets misinterpreted, because when you don't have facial emotions, it's so easy to just say things and think things that are wrong, and we love to catastrophize as humans. And I feel like texting just amplifies that. What used to be activated by lions and near life or death situations is now activated by text messages, and it feels just as pressing. And it's not a bad thing, it's just we have to reckon with that now. And some people might say, oh yeah, why does it matter? So what? Small things end up with large misunderstandings. There's often cliches about relationships saying communication is everything. Oh, communication matters, it's the most important thing. And I feel like it's one of those lessons that you can't really learn until it all goes wrong. Because it did for me, and I feel like poor communication was one of the main reasons. And it sucks to realise it, but it's also so true, because it does matter. It's a small thing. One hard conversation had once saves you 1,000 conversations down the line. Arguments don't really tend to come from the first time someone does something that icks the other person. It comes from the 100th time, where the other person didn't say the first time that it hurt them. And it seems stupid, but it's such a small thing. I think there's also a quote from the Derek Sivers book. Aim a laser pointer at the moon and shift it by 1 centimetre and it will be thousands of miles on the moon. Such small changes can have such large consequences. So don't let things fall apart because you just can't have that one hard conversation. Because it's not very sexy, you're not going to feel the upside initially, but the aversion of the downside will pay off eventually. And it's a consistent act. It's not just something you have to do once, it's something you have to do multiple times. But it's going to be worth it. And you just have to commit to it, because otherwise it's ripe for ruin.